Hello.
Hello!
Here we are at the beginning of Tatari Akashi.
Oh
We're
my
currently just
goodness.
looking at the vanity plates, and the episode has just started. And welcome
I'm
back
so excited.
to Fragment Hell.
I need to let you know that all of my energy went into that hello at the start of the episode. That's like where
Yeah,
brain
you
is at right
were
now.
vaccinated against Hinamizawa syndrome recently.
I was 2 days ago, and the side effect of that is that you get a little bit of the syndrome for a couple days, and now I am suffering in the same way that Rika is suffering horribly.
Yes, and apparently you need to suffer far more as well.
Yeah, that's what I hear from my good friend Felix, who is keeping me trapped in this hell for 100 more years. Yeah, I did have things I wanted to talk about for this episode, but I'm kind of curious, because we're at the start of the arc again, what the hell is going on here with Sadako and Yua, who is a real character that exists. Good grief. That's right, we got to see,
not boredom.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be a problem.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to get bored. Otherwise, I mean, that's why I watch Higurashi. You know,
It's
stay
true,
off
it's
the
true.
boredom, obviously. Oh, damn. Oh, what's the most important fact? Oh.
you can no longer withdraw.
She's going to try. I mean, that's pretty much what I think most people expect to occur in this arc. We're going to see Sadako's, will flag. And I mentioned this.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about the outfit that we saw at Tatari Damashi.
I mentioned this kind of half-heartedly at the end of last episode because I was concerned about ranting. But let me tell you, Sadako gets a new dress in the Tatari Damashi arc that we saw. And in the moment, I went, oh my god, it's because she's going to get blood all over it. But I want to pose a new theory that it's going to be a present from Teppei. Because something that we actually saw, especially if we've got to account for all the extra time that we have to deal with, if we're spending just a lot of time with Sadako and Teppei, building a relationship during this arc, which is how I expect we're going to spend our time here, that has to culminate in something. And I think that dress is a very good candidate. He gives the dress to her using the money from that one horse game that Sadako predicts for him, which is something we saw back in Go. So my prediction for this arc is basically that Teppei is going to go closer to Sadako, and she's also going to start to respect Keiichi again, which puts her, funnily enough, in a position where she has an older brother character and a father figure who both love her dearly. And I think that might be the thing that almost breaks her resolve to play the game, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, she was just threatened that if she hacks up, she's going to be put into a world where there is no Rika to begin with, which is a interesting threat.
Well, that's the thing, right? The question I think we're answering with this arc is can your previous perfect world of having a family that loves you outweigh, being with Rika? And that's, I mean, we know how this arc ends. We know that it ends with her pursuing Rika regardless, but we still gotta play through it. Whether or not Oishi killing everyone was Sadako's design or an accident, I think is the area that I'm most interested in.
Yeah. This should be a very interesting arc because, Tatari is Sadako's territory, effectively, in the story.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant. I, have more thoughts and such, but that's where my brain's at. Because we see that in Neko Boys, Sadako changes tacks completely. She loses all curiosity and all, ooh, I wonder what would happen if I do this, and just starts hammering on Rika,
Yeah, I do love that cut of her just, hearing the voice from the world. It's all right, here we go.
Cutting in, yeah. Stealing herself. Oh my god, Rika, don't break my heart. Oh, that was the saddest nip I've ever heard in my life.
Don't worry. It'll only get worse from here.
Oh. Sako's it's working. It's working. This is what I want, apparently.
Don't smile. Oh, she smiled.
Yeah. Oof. Oofda.
What a fucking... Ugh.
Psychopath, yeah. It's great. Uh-huh. Sure. From Oyashiro-sama. Oh, God. You literally, like, she literally knows who that person is. How could she possibly fall for this shit? You know?
I mean, who knows?
So interesting. Well, that's what I think is kind of interesting, that Sadako is like, yeah, maybe Oyashiro-sama is like telling you shit, but Rika knows Oyashiro-sama personally. So it's just such an interesting angle to take, I suppose. Uh-huh.
I almost wonder if this would have been like, you know, aside from that beautiful cut from the fragments to here, I almost wonder if it would have been like, you know, bigger to have this scene than the fragments, just to like set up, you know, see this conversation, have it be uncomfortable, and then reframe it as like even worse than it already was.
Maybe. I mean, either way, they're like paired so well together. Just any chance we get to give her the red eyes.
No, I didn't say anything.
Wow,
Whoa,
it's all about that
whoa.
hick village. I take offense to this.
Man, you know, I'm starting to remember what Rika's characterization was like at the VN. She's just kind of a little dumb.
As I said, look, she only becomes competent Rika like twice in the entire series.
I know.
She's not an intelligent character, despite having lived forever. She's what, high, I don't know what it'd be, high int, low whiz? Is that how it goes? I don't know. Like, she knows a lot of things, but has a hard time putting things together unless they're right in front of her. Oh.
Like, how does she not just figure it out from this conversation alone?
Well, she doesn't believe that anybody else could have her ability. She's the special snowflake. Like,
Of course.
I mean, you know.
But you also got to like picture this is probably her imagining like she's just realized, oh no, this is the time when Sadako gets the syndrome, right?
Yeah, sure.
Probably got a bit of tolerance from that.
Like, if you've gone through 100 loops or whatever, and you've never seen anybody else, like, you've seen people have flashbacks, but never known of anyone else who can loop in the same way that you can. Why would you start now, I guess? Like, even though shit is obviously, like, weird and has gone wrong, it's still the same thing you did for all of those years.
Yeah. I guess it's always the, you know, the difficulty of challenging your assumptions and like resetting to zero, which Rika has demonstrated time and time again an inability to do.
Like, we know she figures it out eventually, but yeah, you got to challenge your base assumptions and figure out where you stand, because Rika doesn't have the same outside perspective that we do.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's kind of Keiichi's whole function in the story, is that he resets everyone's assumptions like across the board by doing things they've never seen before.
He continually challenges what the other characters in the story consider to be true, both on a personal level and on the level of like the village, you know? That's his role in the story.
I mean, that's also like the really interesting thing for us as an audience, with Keiichi being so much more of a secondary character in this season, is that like, now we don't have a catalyst ourselves to challenge our own assumptions in the same way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're more or less being given like all of the information, so I don't know that there's any.
Well, I mean, that's
like,
the trap, isn't it? They make you think you're being given all the information, but haven't really.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm sure there'll be twists and turns towards the end of the story. But like, we have I think a much more two-sided, I guess, perspective.
Oh, that was I don't. That's just a bad looking shot. That's not even uncomfortable. It just didn't look well rendered. Bizarre.
Poor Sadako. She's losing her mind and her body's starting to twist in weird ways.
I know.
Oh, there's the boy.
Oh no, we're gonna get... Oh, don't.
Yes, let's go. The most perverted scene in the entire fucking novel. Let's go. So ready. I'm so ready for the shenanigans involving this picture boy. Should be fine. Here we go. God damn it, Keiichi.
I'd forgotten that we were at that point in their relationship.
It's happening, dude. This is exactly how this arc's gonna go.
Oh, what a hit.
He's showing off for Keiichi, I'm just saying. Here we go.
You're literally useless. I also like that Sadako's just kind of still walking off away for them for seemingly no good reason.
Yeah. Look, girl's confident.
Why are there so many pictures of astronauts scattered throughout this show?
I don't know. It might be something to do with tourism, but I couldn't tell you, truthfully.
Hmm.
So gross. Quick, go eat all of the meat. Oh no. Thank you, Renna. Beautiful. Jesus. Just massacring Keiichi. Oh, wow. This is certainly an interesting way of
surprised to get back here so fast.
Yeah. Well, I'm suspecting that Yua's gonna straight up like convince Sadako of shit this arc. I think that she's gonna bring her resolve back. So she's gonna get like an actual presence during this story. I hope anyway.
Apparently, in June 1983, the first female astronaut launched on board the Challenger.
The Challenger? Oh, there you go. That's what's going on.
So maybe that's what the news articles are about? I don't know.
That's interesting. I wonder how or if she's going to try and like tie that into the story thematically.
I mean, you know what happened at the Challenger, right?
Not off the top of my head. I'll be real honest with you.
Oh, it blew up.
Did it blow up? Yeah. There you go. Okay. Well.
I kind of doubt that's what it is, but, you know, it's a possibility.
Yeah. We'll see.
Probably cut that. That's kind of like, I don't know.
Oh. She could be the best, assuming she gets past the next couple of days.
Thank goodness that she's managed to also make Teppei's friends not complete pieces of shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, Teppei's a positive influence now, you know? He was really dragging them all down, and now he's gonna walk her home and everything. Oh my god. Gang boss has gone soft. God. It's so wholesome. I just hate how wholesome this all is.
Yeah, who knew that they could make good things this painful?
Yeah, it's great. I'd die for Sadako. That may happen this arc.
Oh, absolutely.
I wish he may just whack you with a baseball bat.
I still very much subscribe to your theory that it is Uishi in that scene, but I'm also like,
yeah. I mean, I'd be open to either way.
There's still some inconsistency there to me that I'm
there is
trying to reason out.
I think either theory works. I mean, it's not. There's not a lot of options for that scene. Either it's Oishi or it's Teppei, right? So, I think that it being Oishi and Teppei just being
here's the case though. Teppei doesn't make sense because he's had his redemption story.
Oh, for sure.
And Oishi doesn't make sense because Sadako was in the way on the way to where he then ended up at the festival grounds, and yet she follows him there.
Sure. I mean, maybe he like throws her to the side and then Sadako convinces him not to shoot her, right?
Yeah, like there's a lot of explanations
she's like, hey,
there.
Don't shoot me, you should shoot Rika instead, right? Like that's the finale of this arc.
Here we go. Yeah, like, there's obviously plenty of ways to explain it, but there is still some level of inconsistency there that I'm just like, I'm not comfortable with, but I also don't really have any solid idea.
No, for sure. I mean, as I said, my best guess is that we get a scene similar to Sadako with Rika, with Mion last arc, where we see Oishi about to smack Sadako in the face, and she's like, ooh, crap, let me see if I can convince you not to kill me and to kill Rika first, because if I die first, then I'm in trouble. That would be my guess for, like, the climactic scene, but obviously, I don't know. We're not even close to that yet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as I've said before, the thing that I'm most excited about is, like, to be surprised by this story. That's what I'm most excited for, so. If everything goes how I expect it to, I'd be disappointed, you know?
And I remember exactly what I said the last time I saw this.
What did you say?
It's just the shot of his moped where it's like, oh, is that a happy life I see before me? And how wrong we were. How wrong we were.
Oh no. Oh, she didn't use the red eyes at least. Nobody will even know that you're here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, figured this was going on. Yeah, so they're going to both think that the other one is bullying her. Done. Say Keiichi. Ugh.
It'll take me less than 1,500 seconds.
Cool. You'd have to punch the whole village with one punch. Cool. It is silly Teppei. If only there was a character who could stand in the way of the whole village and get her justice.
Oh, could you imagine if they actually just went completely different to Taro Damashi and had Teppei lead the, like, fucking movement instead?
Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, it'd be mental.
Nah, he's got his gang boys to be his, his rebellion. Yeah, it is. so awful. It's the most awful thing that she could ever do.
I know, just like this weaponizing her own suffering against someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it so much.
It's great. Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Nobody gets into the house to see Sadako because Teppei's keeping her there. So we don't know, we don't know why. We can only assume things based on Teppei's character, which has been reversed. A crying smile is truly awful.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing the conversation between the consultation center and this.
Yeah.
This version of Teppei.
Sure.
Like, does he just tell the consultation center that the whole village is after Sadako? Like,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, in Tatari Damashi, like, we don't see any of Teppei between like when Shie shows up, I think, and when he supposedly waxed Keiichi. So, I don't know. We have no idea where he is or if he's alive or anything.
Are you ready, Ben? Are you ready for your favorite shot so far in the show to be ruined?
What? How?
That was it.
Am I?
You flipped out last time with this shot of her peeking through the glass.
I know. I was going to say he's very cute.
See, well, like, why don't we get to see more of this scene? And the answer is because it's fake as shit.
Oh, no.
How many fucking cutaways are we gonna get to this lunatic?
Lots. He's surely gotta get involved. Yeah, no. I thought we were gonna get the turn Teppei into, like, thinking that, everybody else is bullying her, because it's the most obvious way to, like, pit the two groups against each other using the theme of miscommunication. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this arc goes. In terms of just how it plays out, how we get that solution at the end.
Yeah, it's a really straightforward change, but, like, one of the principles of the original Higurashi story is that so much of it was founded upon everyone being honest but misunderstanding each other. Whereas now this is, like, the first time we've introduced someone lying to the equation.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, Rika was, like, in the original story, her, like, job by the end of it, her and her friends were trying to get everybody to just fucking talk to each other. That was, like, the solution. Whereas in this, Sadako is deliberately doing the opposites. Like, that's the premise, really.
Totally. I mean, one of the things that I've been talking about with you between last and this video is that, like, I've really been enjoying jumping in the comments with everyone posing ideas and just kind of agreeing with them on things I don't necessarily agree with, just to kind of see where the garden path leads us. Yeah, sure. So hopefully I've trained everyone very well for this, is what I'm saying. I expect you all to have figured it out long before me by this point. That's it. If you haven't figured out before Chrono, then can you really call yourself a Higurashi fan? Exactly. That's really the bar now. Here. I should have trained you well enough. You've left me behind. I was the master, but now you are the student. Yeah, and soon that relationship will flip. It'll flip again. That's how it works. It's the constant flipping between master and student. Exactly. Yeah, no. I mean, look, I'm excited to see how this goes. Honestly, I'm more interested, I think, once we get out of Tatari to see, like, how we resolve this, because like, Ryugushi fashion is that Sadako will, like, realize all the bad stuff she's done, and Rika and Sadako will, like, girl boss their way against Yua, or, like, get their shit together and do the friendship thing. But, like, I don't know if that would be, like, a satisfying ending. I mean, listen, dude, you said last time we're ending right before Umineko Day, so we are. We gotta wait for the new Umineko anime. That's what it's gonna be. And that'll solution it. Yeah, dude. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if we end this show with, like, we have not reached a conclusion, perhaps we will play another game. The implication being that we play another 100 games, and one of those is Umineko. Like, yeah. Fun way to end things. I got a thing I want to talk about that I'm going to put in a, I guess, spoiler clip in the top right. I'm going to say Kikonia and Umineko spoilers. Okay. So head on up there if you're interested. Otherwise, future us from next week, as I speak to you now, will continue. Hello.
Hello. We're live.
We're missing a splash screen. There's no Katakawa on the site we're watching on it
Rip
today.
Katakawa. They actually have been destroyed, consumed by the Umbrella Corporation, I assume.
What even happened last week on this show?
Sadako was like, hey, Tepe, everyone's bullying me.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm up to speed.
And it's ironic because it's the backwards of what usually happens in this arc.
I've been very busy editing the ending of Go, so I'm a little disjointed in terms of my placement in the story.
It's a good thing that you've rewatched that and you're ready to apply the amazing theories that we put together to this arc.
So in the latest video that I edited, Ben, you made a suggestion that someone should watch Go almost to the end, then read the VN as a flashback, and then continue with SOTSU. I have an addition I would like to make to that.
I was gonna say, it was a joke when I said it, but I'm becoming increasingly attracted to the idea.
I think it may actually be a good way to bring new people in, but I would like to raise the stipulation that you could also skip to the episode 7 of SOTSU.
Yes, you could very easily skip the first 2 arcs if you really wanted to, because the first arc, neither of us really enjoyed that one. I'm sorry, Renna. They did you wrong. And the only thing
it was fine. It just felt out of place and too long.
No, fight me in the comments. Look, maybe my opinion will change on a rewatch, but in the moment, I was like, not a big fan of this. But the big thing that we learn plot wise is that Sadako has to chase Rika across the timelines,
and she has a gun.
And she has a gun. But we
already know both those things.
We already know we already know she has a gun for sure. And Feyua says in arc 3, she explains that plot point again. So the only thing you really miss out on, in terms of really great stuff, is Sadako's fucking capping of Mion at the end of arc 2. In my opinion, I'm sure many people disagree with me. There's lots of great moments. There's lots of good Mion content in the second part of the second arc, but in terms of the broader plot, you could skip those arcs. You could just move on, start with arc 3, and just think of it as a continuation.
Yeah. If someone was to edit down the first 6 episodes of this show into
10 minutes long?
one episode, I think I think there's still enough good stuff in there.
No, for sure.
I don't think the first 2 arcs are bad.
Oh, scary. They're just not great, right? They're just they're fine.
Especially if you are doing this order that we're suggesting, where you've just gone through the VN, you will immediately have the scenes that it replays, in your head, so there's not as much purpose to watching them.
I guess. Yeah, no, I'm still thinking in my head about that aspect of bringing new people into the story, but I'm definitely on a similar page thinking, just because it is so difficult to pitch Higurashi to regular people that exist in the real world, Go might be a flashier entry point.
Totally. And I think it's a well-told entry as well.
Yeah. I mean, I need to tell you that that's something I've been thinking about, because obviously up until this point, I have been arguing, you can't show Go to new people. It's impossible. But I want to backpedal hard on that just a little bit.
Good. Finally.
Just because, I know. I'm finally admitting my sin. But I want to say that, ironically, it was at the moment where you faltered in your opinion that, when we saw the Matsubayashi flashback, and you were like, actually, maybe you can't watch this at this point. That was when my brain flipped the other way. So
it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Because it was getting back to it in editing that I flipped back the other way.
Yes. We both had opposite reactions, and I thought, well, I better keep the bit going. But in hindsight, I kind of regret continuing the bit when I should have spoken my heart to you, Felix.
Is he wearing an apron?
But yeah, dude, he's a homebody. But yeah, I feel like there definitely is a space where you can watch this show, if only because I know someone in real life who's been telling me forever that they really want to read Umineko, but only after they've read Higurashi. But they're having a hard time getting into the VN, so they may never read Umineko. It may not happen because they don't have a they want to experience the whole thing from beginning to end. and they're just putting off doing that.
The dialogue in this scene is killing me, Ben.
I know. Look, he's amazing.
Yeah, I think the very interesting thing to me is that I think both of us have kind of like solidified the question in our head as well, because we were just kind of going with, is it okay for new people, which is a very broad thing.
It was a very terrible question. But there's a reason why I present no actual arguments during the discussion, because it was mostly just to prod you into like giving an opinion. But yeah. Tell me.
Whereas I think now that we've kind of like, you know, what is a good thing to encourage people to then go on to the rest of the franchise? I would say Go is arguably one of the best things we have.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the thing. When people don't want to read visual novels because they're long and meandering and full of content that doesn't matter, the anime is the obvious entry point. And if Go is like a higher quality, you know, adaptation, essentially, like it's a flashier, better looking piece of media, there is definitely an argument there, right? I'm still waiting for SOTSU's end to like solidify that thought.
Yeah.
But I'm leaning towards like begin with Go, then move on to greener pastures, as it were.
I still think I still have hope, rather, that SOTSU will end up.
That's a loaded word.
Will be like really, really solid in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I've kind of front loaded this episode with just like my thoughts and feelings, but I feel like I have a lot to say. My hope and dream is that even though we have been like laser focusing on Sadako and Rika, that when we get out of Tatari and Neko Damashi and all that sort of stuff, that we will broaden the scope again and look at the club members and like recognize them as actual characters again that matter.
Yeah.
Like that's a very short way of putting it, but like I really want to see Sadako like realize that there are more things in Hinamizawa than just Rika to care about. Because that's what she's been saying, like, why you want to leave the town? When really what she's saying is, why you want to leave me? When, you know, she also is like pushing aside everything else in the town that matters.
Well, that's also one of the really funny things about like some of the dialogue that we just got there, is that Sadako is coming in and just being a blatant liar to Rika, when so many of the flashback scenes we saw of her understanding how much Rika was lying. She's like, oh, Rika, I can't believe, you know, I am on the moral high ground here, but like, no, you're not.
Well, that's how Sadako's been, and that's why I made that comment, right, as that scene was playing. Because Sadako is constantly saying, I have the moral high ground, or Ishiro-sama wants you to stay in the village, but like, she's being awful, you know?
Definitely.
Uh-oh, Mion, what's going on with Teppei?
How do you know about
sounds like
that?
A problem. Throw him out. I heard about him through a flashback.
What a weird shot.
He's evil. Sadako's evil.
The wall.
Oh, there she is. She's looking all sad. Are we going to get this whole scene? I really hope not. I really just don't. I don't want to go through this again.
Oh, is this the hand slap? Are we here already? I thought that was a little later.
I don't know. How many times did she come to the school, right? Like, I forgot.
Twice.
Well, there you go.
Actually, it's twice in the VN. They might have rolled it into one in the anime.
That's what I'm trying to remember. It's been too long. Look, I'm sorry. I've been focusing on the broader scope of the story in my mind.
Also, this piece of music is great. I don't know if it's from the original anime, but it like really sounds like one of the creepy tracks from the VN, and I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool, actually. It's just like subtly in the background, building in intensity to a feverish pitch.
It may have even appeared earlier in the show. That's like the first time I kind of like actually
it's almost
actively
like
heard it.
It's almost like the cry of the cicadas.
That's one of the things about editing this that I do miss is that I can't actually listen to the soundtrack of the show while I edit.
Oh, yeah.
Because unfortunately, then I'd have to listen to you twice.
It's true. As much fun as that would be. Look, you saying you don't like listening to me twice or even
twice
thrice?
At the same, like I could listen to you twice, just not twice at the same time.
Okay. But could you listen to me talking to you in real life while listening to a recording of me? I reckon you could.
on the one hand, I really appreciate the like very blatant dramatic irony that we're getting in this scene where they're like, oh, I can't believe he's abusing her.
Can't believe how awful he is, but he's not
like
awful. He's actually very
we
loving.
know.
Yeah, we know what's going on. We're having the Oniakishi problem again, but that's okay.
Yeah, this would be the kind of thing that would be much more fun to go back and rewatch Go and go like, oh crap.
I mean,
actually do it.
I don't want to get into another argument about this. Another fight between us, the parents of the audience. But like again, if you just made this arc in SOTSU like 1 or even 2 episodes, I think would be plenty. The fact that they're committing to 3 episodes for each like answer arc, I think is a mistake. I
don't mean to be negative, but I do kind of agree.
Yeah.
I
think my opinion on that has not changed, you know? She's having a great time, though.
A grand old time.
That was a great shot.
Someone in the comments, please, whether or not it's true, explain to us at length the symbolism of that previous shot.
Please do. I need to tell you that I love that Sadako has not lost her playfulness as the Trap Master. Like, yes. I love that as a character detail, that it's still there. Because most of what we've been seeing for the past 3 episodes has been her, like, staring creepily. The fact that now she's like, I'm going to roll around in the dirt and make myself look dirty. And this is also going to, like, reinforce my lie. Like, oh, no, there she goes in the mud. Because now she could be all, Tepe, they rolled me around on the ground. And they threw me in the mud. It's great. It's almost like an additional, like, revenge for her. It's great. Practically? Alright. You know, I like the angle that Sadako is almost like taking her revenge on Tepe, but I think it'll mellow when she gets that stupid dress.
This scene is horrible.
Huh?
This scene is so horrible.
I know. It's awful. She's like, let's have a heartfelt confession scene, which is an absolute fucking staple of Higurashi, by the way.
I know.
This sort of thing is the turning point, right? This is the moment in any given arc where, like, we finally get it all out and we realize what we've done wrong, but then that nerd Takano's there to screw it all up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Sadako is both the communicator and the Takano in one.
I know, it's really great.
Yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. Come on, let's get some more juicy lies.
I do like this visual motif of her sitting at the bottom of the steps each day.
Mm-hmm. The shrine, yeah. Like, she's got faith. She got that faith. Saku's maybe gonna be there, but she's not. Now she's sad.
Mm-hmm. I guess, yeah, she does come both. She leaves the first time and then the other scene happens the second time.
Yeah.
This is the bit where we surprisingly jump into Minigoroshi.
That's it.
It caught us all off guard. We were all like, oh, yes, I remember this in Tatari-Goroshi. No, you don't.
Right. This is 2 arcs rolled into 1. What's happening here? Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the gang. Screw studying. Sadako's more important than studying. That's a very interesting.
See, now that's the sentence there. I'm glad we got to look at again.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, why are we reading this scene again? But that particular line, that's really, like, great.
Mm-hmm. Like, we still could have just gone and rewatched Go, but I have to admire the script writing with that one.
Yeah. Of all the scenes to replay, like, that's a very good line to call back to. It's a shame Sadako isn't creepily looking through the window to hear all this right now.
I was really hoping the next shot was going to be exactly that.
On the wall, yeah. It would have been pretty great. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at all these awful, horrible things that are happening, but I'm kind of enjoying this. Genuine concern. You should get an education and study. Come on, Tepe. Even your most trusted friends.
That's right.
That you cultivated over all of those timelines.
What a non-answer that line is. And everyone in the class is from Hinamizawa.
Oh.
She's literally reverting logic. Yeah, the outsider psychology. She's just flipping it.
It's great. Shut up, I'm looking after my kid. It's gonna act tough to try and like make her feel better. Poor Chie. You wanna bully her or something? You wanna ruin her life? Come on now.
I'm interested by the fact she's like, keeping up the act even while no one's there to look.
Yeah, well, she was saying character in case someone steps in and takes a peek. Yes.
In case the camera crew decides to venture a gander.
Yeah. In case they try to sneak in through the front door, Tepe holds the door open for them. Thanks, Tepe. You're such a big, strong man to protect me. Oh my god, look at the size difference.
No.
That's the first time. That's the first time
they've exaggerated that in that shot 100%.
That's crazy.
We saw them side by side at the end of Go, and it was not that ridiculous.
Thing, right? That's absurd. But which one's
and
the
from
real
the
one?
angle we were looking at, it should have been the other way around, right? Because that was a low angle.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if it was a perspective thing, she's closer to the camera. That shot makes no sense. It's great. It's just because, Sadako's twisting the narrative in the same way that the camera perspective doesn't make any damn sense. It's very smart when you think about it that way. All right. Oh, Tepe.
I'm sorry. It sounded so much like he said hi in English over the phone, and I was really taken out of the moment by it.
That's okay. I didn't catch it. I'm sorry. This is so interesting. What is the angle here, Sadako?
I have nothing to hide.
It's like, I'm being forced to do stuff surreptitiously. What is going on?
We're still going to cut away. Ugh.
Yeah. She's just trying to keep the timeline on track, I guess. Tepe is... I feel bad for him. I can't. Oh. He's such an idiot. No, it's not. Unless Sadako admits to it, it's not legal.
Keiichi's house.
Yay.
Not Keiichi's house.
Oh, not anymore. It was more of a gesture in the direction of Keiichi's house. In newspaper form.
Remember when Keiichi was a character in this story?
Remember when Rena was a character in the story?
Remember when Shion was a character in this story?
I don't, honestly. I'm pretty sure she just grabbed a taser off of the best.
No, she hit Keiichi with the chair.
And then she died. Oh, you know what? You're right. She did hit Keiichi with a chair. And that is the most important thing she's done in this entire story. It's alright. Yeah, you gotta really be into Rika and Sadako, I think, for this story to just, click.
I hadn't really thought about that, but I suppose you kind of do.
Well, that's the thing that I find so interesting about, like, how people respond to the show. Because my impression is that, like, some people love these characters so much that seeing them at each other's throats is, like, too much for them. But on the other side, like, there's such a strong focus of Sadako and Rika that, like, if you're not into them as characters, I don't know how you'd go with this story. Like, I don't know how you'd even, like, engage with it. That's what I'm curious about. Like, obviously, I can't speak for other people. I can't speak for everyone who has ever seen this show. I'm more saying this as, like, I'm curious. Like, if you don't particularly like Sadako or Rika, please, like, let us know. Are you still watching? You know? And the other way around as well. You know?
Yeah, I guess, like, I don't think I would have described myself as particularly attached to any of these. Yes, there it is. The best moment
there it
of the show.
is. Yeah. Why didn't they use this more often? God. This cool, like, fragment vision. This is great. Oh, that's a good shot.
It could have very easily overstayed its welcome. I'll be frank.
For sure. Anyway, you want to finish your thought, Felix?
I was going to say, I think, like, the thing that's kind of keeping me going with this show is that the storytelling has just been good, and I know enough about the character stories that the way they're telling the story is compelling to me.
No, for sure. I mean, I've definitely, like, become more interested in Sadako as a character because, like you guys know me, like, Rena's best girl, Keiichi's best boy. I find Rika really compelling, but the other characters, like, I love the club as a whole, but, like, the other characters, I'm not invested in their personal stories as strongly. I'm more interested in Sadako in how Keiichi interacts with her and how he saves her than in her as a character.
I did want to just interrupt you here to say, like, the more I think about it, this is a very powerful moment to introduce this, like, fragment vision.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is a very powerful moment of reframing where we're like, nope, she is just faking it. Because, like, in a lot of ways, I think for me, this was also the scene in Go where I finally, like, understood what was going on.
With Sadako, yeah.
And so, like, having this view, like, Ewa is me in this scene. I was watching Go, like, holy shit, the lunatic.
This is messed up, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this. But anyway, I'm glad we've recognized you as a horned witch, you might say. Seems reasonable to me. That seems good. Anyway,
I feel like you're trying to make accusations there.
I would never accuse you of anything. But yeah, I've just had lots of thoughts. I've honestly moved on from trying to, like, make hard arguments about the show. I'm just genuinely curious, like, how people are engaging with the show and how you guys feel about, like, you know, if you weren't a big fan of Sadako or Rika, how are you feeling? If you were a huge fan of Sadako, do you despise her now? Do you love her even more? Let me know. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think, like, still, above all else, and we're probably going to state this a few more times as we continue through this show, is with certainty. The main problem for me with this show is just that it didn't grow on the, like, big pinnacle of the season before it.
Sure.
Like, you know, we fell in action rather than rising in action between the two seasons, which isn't unreasonable. It's just that... I think it's one of those things I would have rather been told before watching SOTSU.
This is the thing, I guess.
But now that I'm used to it, like, I am along for the ride. Even despite my complaints about this episode, this was great. I loved seeing these moments reframed. I would have personally gone and just rewatched the previous season after finishing this. But hey, if that's the way they want to tell their story, props on them to have the confidence to be like, look at what we said. We will. The truth was in front of you. Like, that's fun.
Really. Yeah, it is fun. I still say, like, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens after we get out to Tatari. I want to see the future. I want to see the conclusion of this. I want to see what the fucking point was at the end of the day. Ryukishi, take me in your arms, hold me, tell it's going to be okay, and also...
You just trying to, like, one-up my bit for the past season?
What bit? Which bit?
That bit.
Oh, when you asked her to kiss you?
Yes.
Is that...
Amongst other things.
No, I'm not trying to one-up. Take me in your arms is a loving thing to ask of Ryukishi, but I don't think I can have a one-up, kiss me now, Ryukishi, or whatever the hell you said. You'd be crazy. You'd be crazy for that, man. I'm happy to stand here and be a third wheel and just comment and be like,
yeah, you just want a good old Christian side hug.
Look, it's okay. I'll give him a Christian side hug and then whisper in his ear, bring Rena back. More Rena, please make a side story.
It was a ploy all along, Ryukashi. Get out of there.
We need more cute Rena faces. That's what the fandom needs. It'll take you to the top 100, the top 10. It'll take you up there, Ryukashi.
All right.
Bring back more cute Rena faces.
Yeah, petition in the comments for Ryukashi to bring back Rena. I suppose.
Bring back more Rena faces. Need more of them.
I suppose we will see you next week with episodes 9 and 10.
It should be fun.
Have fun.
Have fun, guys. Be positive.